15 miles a day was considered good progress. It was a journey no human nor dog had ever made before them. Now they must find the Shoshone, known to possess the finest horses available. The Corps of Discovery needed those horses to transport their supplies overland from the Missouri to the Columbia River. Without horses, they could not hope to reach the great Western Ocean. Chapter 2. "Let's go, Seaman," said Lewis the next morning. "Time for a walk." Seaman bounded around the camp eagerly while his master grabbed his notebook and specimen bag. As they were heading out, Sacagawea, the young Shoshone guide, approached. "I could go with you today," she said to Lewis, "and help you dig the plants." On her back rested a cradle-board with her infant son snugly strapped in. Little Jean-Baptiste smiled and waved his chubby fists at Seaman. Everyone, including the big dog, was very fond of the baby. When Jean-Baptiste was born, the captains had nicknamed him Little Pomp. "I would welcome your company, Sacagawea," said Lewis. "Fetch your digging stick, and we can gather some of the roots you used to flavor last night's excellent stew." The four then headed into the forest, where Sacagawea deftly used her digging tool to lift a plant from the earth. "This is the licorice root that I used to flavor your food," she said, holding up the plant. Lewis penciled a description of the leaves, stem, and roots in his notebook and added the plant to his specimen bag. Later he would dry and press the entire plant before sending it to President Jefferson at the White House. The President had been very precise in his letter to Lewis about what to observe and record in this strange new landscape. Objects worthy of notice will be the soil and face of the country, its growth and vegetable productions, especially those not of the United States, the animals of the country generally, and especially those not known in the United States, the remains and accounts of any which may be deemed rare or extinct, the mineral productions of every kind, but more particularly metals, limestone, pit coal, and saltpeter, salines and mineral waters, noting the temperature of the last, and such circumstances as may indicate their character, volcanic appearances, climate as characterized by the thermometer, by the proportion of rainy, cloudy, and clear days, by lightning, hail, snow, ice, by the access and recess of frost, by the winds prevailing at different seasons, the dates at which particular plants put forth or lose their flower or leaf, times of appearance of particular birds, reptiles, or insects. As Sacagawea and Lewis worked, they talked. The Shoshone girl spoke the English that her husband Charbonneau had taught her. "Soon we will reach the country of my birth," she said. "But," asked Lewis, "will your people sell us the horses we need to transport our supplies?" Sacagawea replied, "No white man has ever been seen in Shoshone country, but Shoshone view all strangers with suspicion. You must first show them that you are friends." Captains Lewis and Clark had welcomed meetings with Native Americans along the route, in fact had sought them out in order to learn about their customs, food, and clothing. Lewis carefully recorded his observations in a notebook. In the 3-year expedition he would record the ways of many Native American tribes, including the Missouris, Otos, Yankton Sioux, Lakotas, Arikaras, Mandans, Hidatsas, and Tetons. For the most part, these dark-skinned people had been friendly and helpful, but puzzled about the purpose of the expedition. In winter camp, the Mandan chief had asked Lewis if the explorers were on a vision quest, a search for spiritual enlightenment. Lewis had replied that yes, indeed, the Corps of Discovery was on a vision quest. "Will you recognize the landmarks that will lead us to the Shoshone camp?" he now asked, as he shut his notebook and tied his specimen bag closed. Lewis was anxious. The expedition must move west with some haste, because they were already behind schedule. 5 years it has been, said Sacagawea, since I was taken from my village by our enemies, the Hidatsa warriors. But I am certain I will know in my heart as soon as we reach the Shoshone hunting grounds. The spirit of my slain mother, who died before my eyes, will lead me to the village of my brother and sisters. Lewis certainly hoped so. Without Shoshone horses, the Corps of Discovery would have to leave behind important supplies, medicines, clothing, food, that they would need if they were to successfully reach the Pacific coast.